Flooring, thank you for joining. I'm in Badwell Ash today in Suffolk, near Bury St Edmunds. Today I've got this oak floor, solid oak floor. It's in a bit of a bad way. I mean, it's not horrendous, but it's got really bad sanding marks on it, where people before didn't really know what they're doing. The sanding was done long ways against the board, against the grain, so I've got to get these scratches out. I'm going to try and start on a 60 grit with the belt sander. I'm going to try 60 grit. If 60 grit doesn't work, doesn't get the scratches out, then I'll go to a 40 grit. Start on 40 grit. We'll see what works best. And then we'll go down the grits again, and I'll explain that as I go. But yeah, stick with us, see this transformation. I'll tell you everything I'm doing. And oh yeah, the finish that I want is raw look, which is very popular nowadays. Invisible. So what the actual product I'm using is Loba Invisible 2K. Really good product, and really hard as well, really hard wearing. So quite enjoying and looking forward to putting that on, because it's one of my favourite lacquers to use at the moment. So that should really change the look of this floor. At the moment it's quite dark, so that's going to change. That's going to be a lot lighter once I've finished here. But anyway, stick with us, and I'll see you in a little while. Here's some time lapse I'm going to do for you, and we'll see how it goes.
So here we go, the 60 grit with the belt sander. I'm using ceramic abrasives for this.
So I've done the first sand with a 60 grit. It's got all the scratches out, and I've done it in less than 40 minutes. So I don't want to jinx myself, but this is a good floor to sand. A bit of luck, really, I guess. But, yeah, so that side, I've now got to go on to all the edges. So I'm going to try the 60 grit on the edges now as well, and then I'll go over with an 80 grit with the belt sander after that, and then back on the edges again with probably 120 grit, and then back onto the belt sander again with a 120 grit as well, and then I'll bring the trio in, quick run over the floor with 120 grit on that as well. So yeah, so far so good. 40 minutes in. I started at 10:30. It's now it's on my phone, but I think last time I looked it was about 5 past. So 5 past 11. So yeah, that's pretty good going. So yeah, just thought I'd let you know. Quite easy, quite straightforward. So long may it last. See you in a minute.
Now it's time for the edger with a 60 grit. I'm using with this as well ceramic abrasives. Now I'm about to use my file sander, which gets rid of all the old lacquer in the corners. Now back on to the belt sander with an 80 grit. And the edges again with 120 grit. Now finally the last pass over with the belt sander with 120 grit. Now at this stage you can choose to lacquer if you wish, or If you have a orbital sander or planetary sander, as I do here, you can use this once more for your very final sand to give the floor that excellent finish. After the 120 grit, make sure you vacuum up very, very well.
There we go, the floor is now fully sanded. Now, I'll just point out that if you don't have an orbital sander or a planetary sander to do the final bit over the whole floor, that's okay. You don't have to have one of them. Okay, it just makes the floor even better, but you can just finish at the stage where you do 120 grit on your belt sander, and then all you have to do is if the edges, if you can see the difference between the edger and the belt sander, you just need a little rub over, even by hand with 120 grit, just to get rid of the difference, because you could probably see a bit of a difference sometimes. And then that will do, and then you can just put lacquer on then. But if you do have a planetary sander or an orbital sander like I do, I always use that just to finish off, just to give an even better finish than the belt sander does. Then use it, make sure you use it, because they're great. So I've now done all the sanding. I'm just about to put the lacquer on. As I said before, I'm using Loba Invisible 2K. It's a 2-coat system, okay? So I'm going to put the first coat on now. It's now just gone, it's now 1 o'clock, so all the sanding has been done in 2.5 hours. Started at 10:30. Yeah, about 2.5 hours, yeah. So really gone well, this job. I wish my jobs were like this. So, but yeah, I'm going to put the lacquer on. Stay tuned, stay with us, you'll see the difference. This is what it looks like now, and the lacquer is meant to be invisible. So it should carry on looking like this, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments, and share and like, subscribe if you can. It'll help me carry on doing these videos for you. But I hope you like the video. Stick with us and just see what the lacquer turns up. I'll speak to you soon.
Now it's time for the lacquer. I'm using a medium pile roller and a paint pad for the edges. Once you have finished the first coat of lacquer, I left it 2.5 hours to dry with the fan on in the middle of the room there. Once that's dry, you can then light sand the floor again with a buffing machine with a 120 grit mesh screen. You can also do this by hand with 120 grit. Then the vacuum is your friend. Here we go, the final coat of lacquer. Do it exactly the same way as the first, but just apply it a little more liberally, and just make sure you do not leave any drips or marks.
Time now is 4 o'clock, just about, and I've just finished the job, so that's all sanding done. all lacquering done, just 2 coats of it. Got really well, really happy with how it went. Customers are over the moon with it. It looks like a brand new floor. And I know that's what we're meant to do, is make it look like a brand new floor, but it just some don't come up as well as you hope, and some come up even better than you think. So, and this was one of the ones that have come up even better than I thought it would. So yeah, very happy. Yeah, got it all done in good time as well. So thank you for watching, everyone, and see you for the next one.